Today we'll talk about input and output, which is one of the components of the computer, as we saw. In particular, we'll look at something that's very important inside almost every computer today, which is called the hard disk drive, or sometimes people call it HDD, hard disk drive. So after the lesson, I encourage you to go to Wikipedia and look up hard disk drive and try to read as much as you can from there. I'll send you the link also with the email. So for right now, as we said, some devices are used as input, some devices are used for output, and the hard disk drive is used for both input and output. So the first thing that we'll do is take a look at the schematic picture of how the disk drive or hard disk drive looks like. I drew here two pictures. One is the side view and the other one is top view. So let's start from the top view. It'll be easier to explain. This is basically the drive from the top. It's a circle, and this white thing here is an arm, and on the arm there is something that's called the read-write head, which is here. It's a piece of white that's a little wider than the arm, and this is in the center. This is called the spindle, and this is in the center of the drive, and this is what the platter, this is called the platter, is spinning around. There is a motor behind that disk, and the motor spins the platter, and that's how the disks move or spins around. Now if you look at the side view, the platter that we see here at the top is only this one, and this is the spindle, and behind this one there may be other platters that are drawn here. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 platters, and the read and write heads are here. There are 1, 2, and 3, and they are in between the platters, as you see, and those are the arms. This is one arm, another arm, and another arm. So they have 3 arms here because there are 4 platters, and the read and write head can move in this direction, this way or that way. So it can cover the whole part of the disk that's under the arm, and together with the platter spinning and this movement, we can cover any point on the platter. For example, if let's say there is a point here, and I either want to read this piece of data that's written here, or I want to write to this area of the disk, what happens when the disk spins, this point spins with it, and at some point it will get around here, right? Because the disk spins this way, this is the direction, and the read and write arm, as we said, it moves this way or that way. So when it moves this way, it's at some point it will be pointing here, and then the spot that was here will be exactly underneath the read and write head, so it can be read or something can be written to that spot. Let's take another spot on the disk. Let's say, take this spot. Same thing will happen. This spot will spin, 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 spin together with the disk, with the platter, and at some point it will get over here. This is not accurate, but anyway, it will get under the arm, and the read and write head will move this way, so it will be exactly on top of this spot, and then it should be able to read or write to that spot. And every spot on the disk, wherever there is data, in the same fashion, because the disk is spinning, it will always get under the arm, and the read and write head could move back and forth and will be able to get to that spot and read it or write it. So what happens is all those arms are moving in tandem. The read and write head is moving in tandem on those arms, and the disk spins, and that way we can access all the platters and all the data of each and every platter. So this is the principle behind the hard disk drive and how data is stored and retrieved from the drive. We haven't touched yet on the type of data that we can store and how much data we can store, and this will come in the second section of this class. But for now, let's look at pictures of real disk drives and see how this schematic picture gets implemented on the real drive. So if you look, for example, at this picture, here we can see the top platter of disk. This here in the center is the spindle, and this is the arm, and the read and write head is here at the tip, and it could move this way and that way, and the disk of course spins, and that's how the data is read or written. Let's look at another picture. This is a disk that's at rest. It's not working right now, but the cover was taken out, and you can see the platter clearly. This is the platter where all the data is. Actually, in the bottom, below the portion that has data is underneath this platter. And this is the read and write. This is the read and write head over here, and this is the arm. And when the disk starts working, the arm will go this way and stay here, and then the head will move back and forth, the read and write head, and the disk spins, and it has a motor behind it. We don't see the motor, but it's connected to the spindle, and it always spins very quickly. Usually the disk spins about 7,200 times per minute, so it's pretty fast, and the head also moves very fast back and forth, so very quickly we can get to any spot on the disk that has data, and it can be read or we can write into that spot. So that's the principle behind the physiology of the hard disk drive. And in the next lesson we'll talk about how much data can be stored and how we can relate to the data with the binary system that we learned. And for now, just read the article on Wikipedia that I told you about. I'll send you the link, and the article will talk about this physical composition of the disk, and will also mention the part that I'll talk about in the next section of this class 4, which is the data and how to measure the amount of data that we store on a disk or any other device. So for now, I'll leave you with this, and we'll stop the recording here, and the next section, as I said, will have more about the data itself.